Chapter 2. Worth. I stared at the closed door in shock. What the hell had just happened? 1 minute I'd been reaching into the closet for a clean shirt to replace the one I'd spilled wine on at dinner, and the next minute I was dealing with a stowaway. A gorgeous stowaway. A gorgeous, young stowaway. The man had to be 20 years my junior. His words finally reached my brain. He'd been asking for Prescott, my brother's fiancé, and if this was what it looked like, poor Lucas was going to be devastated. I pulled the closet door back open. "Get out here and sit down. There." I pointed to the upholstered chair at the desk under one of the windows. Cal winced and scrambled over to the chair, taking a seat so primly I almost wanted to say, "Good boy." "Explain yourself." His clear blue eyes darted nervously around the room, and his dirty blonde hair stuck up everywhere like he'd stuck his finger in a light socket for way too long. He bit his full bottom lip with his top teeth while he considered how to lie to me. This was going to be good. "I was doing some work for your husband?" I'll bet you were," I murmured. "Hard work, was it?" He blushed and looked down at his clasped hands in his lap. Were those my pajama pants? "Ship work," he said, getting a second wind. He looked up and met my eyes. "I'm here for the chief mate job." I barked out a laugh, which caused him to jump and nearly tumble off the chair. "Are you? Well, I can tell you haven't learned how to dress for the job you want, considering those are Ralph Lauren pajama pants." He sniffed and looked out the window. "The chief mate of the Worthington has standards, and it is bedtime after all." I bit back a laugh. "I guess it is. Where exactly are you sleeping, considering the existing chief mate is still in the chief mate's rack?" Cal flapped a hand. "I'm not picky. I'm happy to sleep on deck if you—" I suddenly remembered something and snapped my fingers. "Who let the dogs out?" Cal blinked at me. I'm sorry? Is this a trick question? Is the answer Baja Men? That was your phone, wasn't it?" Cal stood up suddenly. "Shit, that's my ringtone from my grandfather. Where is it?" "The captain has it on the bridge. We assumed it was left by someone on the cleaning crew, along with their clothing." He looked worried. I need to get it, in case something's wrong at home." When he moved to stand up, I pressed him back down with a hand to the chest. I tried not to notice the warm feel of his muscles under my fingers. "You're not going anywhere. And it only rang once about an hour ago. I'm sure everything is fine. Besides, you can't be much help from the middle of the Atlantic Ocean." He looked both worried and resigned, and for some reason his expression made me want to reassure him, which was laughable considering he was my stowaway. "How far out are we?" he asked. Can you take me back to St. Mitt's? Please, I don't have any money, but—" He looked around my bedroom as if there were a treasure chest of gold bricks going begging. "I can work it off, or—" I held up a hand. "I'm not sure I'm interested in the kind of work you do." His eyes shot wide before they narrowed into a glare. "Sailin'? Is that what Prescott brought you on board a motor yacht for? Sailing?" His cheeks flushed, and he looked away again. "Well, that other bit was more of a volunteer gig." "Charity sounds about right," I said more peevishly than I'd intended, considering you couldn't pay me to touch that piece of shit. The idea of this beautiful boy naked in bed with Prescott Resnick made my jaw tick. Lucas's fiancé was a snake, a man only out for himself.